We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Here they gonna get wicked. Here we go again.
It's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
We back, no echoes.
I know. I know. You said what?
It makes me happy, though. That makes me happy because check it. I'm officially before the pod caught up on all my shows anyway, though, right? I'm caught up on everything.
You finally watched the doggone Acolyte.
Yes. Thought it was dope. And listen, so let me tell you what's funny. So you know how I showed you earlier, but I just wanted to reiterate something we always talk about. So you remember how I told you I was so hyped about my chair when I got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even more hype. I have been waiting for. I mean, I've been probably waiting since forever to buy me some chairs to go in the studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had saved up a little bit of money and everything, put it aside. And you know me, I'm frugal, so there's only certain things that I'm willing to go ahead and spend my money on. I was like, I'm just gonna wait. Somehow it's gonna fall into my lap, though, bro. So I'm sitting here getting Landon a haircut today, and Neek was like, "Hey, I'm at the TJ Maxx. I done found the chairs you need to go ahead and get, though, man." And they was right at my what I was looking to catch for my budget anyway. Right at my price point, though, man. And if anything, they look better. So I was just like, bet. So now I'm all the way official. The only thing I'm missing now in the studio is my TV to go in the studio and maybe like a little coffee table on over here, man, to sit in front of my chairs to put some drinks and everything on if I'm having it. Which I already have the coffee. Excuse me, I already have the table in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, it's coming in the studio. It's officially coming together, though, bro. I'm hyped.
That's what's up, bro. That boy said
Not
he
like how it
official.
was on my chair, though. Oh yeah, well, I'm looking all the way official here, though, man. Like I told you, I always wanted to, when I had my own, when I moved again, I wanted to have the studio, but have that big studio feel, though, man. And so it gives that ambiance in here, though, man, with my extra chairs. It's functional now. Plus, it gives me more stuff in here to cut the echo out. So that's the big thing that I was really looking forward to, though, man. So I actually want to record just to hear how much of a difference I hear, though.
That's what's up, bro. I'm happy you getting it along. Like I'm more so doing a bunch of downsizing to get things the way I want, and you trying to expand. So yeah,
Well, I'm telling, yeah. I'm trying to expand because I'm having more people record regularly now. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. So I want to go for comfort still. Yeah,
well, look, man, we got some things to talk about. Let's get that music popping off.
let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you
of all time.
smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you click on the bells. That way you get the heads up whenever your boys in this doing a thing, and you especially want to hear it when we don't have the echo going. Ace Kennedy.
Brother, it's been one of them times where it's like we have our ups and downs in the shows. These last two shows has been a production nightmare. So we wanted to make sure that we did something special to bring it back because saying them 2 weeks was crucial. Great content down the drain, great conversations down the drain. But we wanted to do something special, so we're gonna bring one of the original co-hosts back that always pops through, the Boney the Cockaroo himself, the bad guy.
Yeah, that boy's famous.
Hello, everyone. I've missed you.
I bet
I've
you
missed
did.
you all. I've missed all my good class brother fans. I don't know if they know, but Charles, I remember about a year or two ago you said I'll never call you Cockaroo. What'd you just say? What'd you just
But
say?
the cockaroo, the cockaroo
I'm kind of famous nowadays, bro.
is famous. He is famous. So, yeah, see, listen, man, every time I look up you in another spot, you're doing some things. Listen, for the people who don't know, what you been up to, man?
Just going around beating up crippled children. I have made it my deal to make crippled children my enemy. In other words, that means I'm on stage telling jokes. Look at my eyes. You see what happens? This is what happens when you go around beating up crippled children. I have been on a nationwide comedy tour. I've been down to Texas, and I've been up to Michigan, and I've been over to some other places. First off, I got a couple lawsuits, so I'm not going to tell y'all where I've been. But I want you guys to know that I am coming to Oklahoma City. The Filthy
Hey,
Animals, we coming. It's really not the Filthy Animal tour though, because Badger of the Filthy Animal tour will be off on a cruise. So it's me and a dude named Dick Dickerson. If you guys don't know who that is, you should follow him. He's a nut in all other ways. And then I bring in on some other guys. And then because it's Oklahoma, and the only way I could come on stage in Oklahoma is if I bring my number one since 1998, my man, Ace Kennedy's got to be on stage. So
I
I'm
mean,
going to
listen.
open up for Ace.
I
I'm
mean,
going to open
listen.
up for Ace.
I'm not saying you got to check in anymore or nothing like that. I mean, this still is your city, but yeah, you definitely
Yeah,
you
check
definitely
in. You got to check in OKC, huh?
you definitely wasn't coming to Oklahoma City. It was gonna get on stage that I wasn't getting on because I still owe y'all from jumping on stage when I was
That wasn't me. I mean,
and
I was there.
you had to come snatch him off. So
Right.
therefore
So I mean,
hey,
but
he
hey,
was your responsibility while I was performing.
damn it. Okay, I gotta take it. Let me say this. To all the Slash Brother fans. The first time I ever did a podcast, first time anybody ever really seen me on something other than my own rant was right here. Okay. There's a lot of things that I like to represent wherever I go, right? Langston University, the Air Force, right? Being a Weston, being a Mitchell, being from St. Joseph, Missouri, stuff like that, Kansas too. But I will always let everybody know that I am one of the Slash Brothers. Do you hear me? Can we get a round of applause for the Slash Brothers, please? Hey, man, I missed y'all. And let's get into it, man. What we doing this week? Let's get it.
Seems though. Let's jump in this NBA stuff first because there's a lot of stuff popping up in the NBA. We talked Oklahoma, so we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into the Oklahoma City Thunder. So a lot of people were upset with the draft picks that we did. We went 12 and picked a guy that's gonna be out for a whole year because of his ACL recovery. And then we ended up with another gentleman who we gave up 5 second-round draft picks for. I think his name is Duran. I mean, Dylan Johnson or something. Dylan Williams or something. I don't know. But anyway, and then we ended up with this dude named Jay Mitchell, and then we got another cat out of St. Mary, Dukas is his last name. And then the big signing that happened yesterday, we ended up with the boy Hartenstein from New York. So that was super dope. So a lot of people that was looking at Sam like he don't know what he doing. Like we haven't been going through this every single year, bro. And Sam we trust. Here's the thing: the move that we did last year to get Hayward Gordon was the setup for Hartenstein, and people are just not paying attention to what he's doing. So
What
Sam
up?
doesn't think about the current year; he's always thinking about the future.
Yeah. Well, I want to. What round did they come in? What seat were they in when the final when the playoffs started?
When the playoffs started, we was number one in the West.
Right. And with that being said, they still don't trust Sam yet.
They still don't. They still don't.
That's,
They don't
that's
understand.
ridiculous.
Sam has been one of the most open GMs when he talks about the team, the state, and where he sees us and what he has proposition for the future. He said a while back that we were going to go to positionless basketball. So that ended
All
us
right.
up in first place. Now, we did see some discrepancies when we played Dallas. So we felt like we needed to get some length for stuff, and we
Young,
addressed it.
young, young team. It happened. It happened. It happened. I apologize.
Now
I
let me
apologize.
tell you. Let me tell you. I think this is what I think is dope. Okay, so let's just talk about the draft for a second with OKC, and I think this is how big of a deal I think that how big of a deal I think that it was on the low. Right, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's take a step back. So a week or so ago, OKC traded Josh Giddey, who asked to be traded, and they traded him in exchange for Alex Caruso. For me, that's an upgrade because there was a point in the playoffs where you couldn't play Giddey at certain points, right? Because Giddey, they had a center guard. Giddey was basically daring him to shoot, and if you made it, yeah, you got to live with it, right? So I think that you upgrade by one having a person that you don't have to necessarily take off, but for two, I think that Caruso is just overall better. I think his defense makes up for the offensive inefficiencies, and I think if you were comparing the two, right? And he's all defensive player. So I think that that's a tough lineup when you got Shea, who I believe led the league in steals. You got my boy Lou Dort out here, all defensive player. You now got
Yeah.
also Caruso, who's an all defensive player. You
Who will be
got
coming off the bench?
Chet, who's what's that?
Who will be coming off the bench?
Who you think Lou Dort coming off the bench or who?
No, Caruso.
Caruso's already came off the bench, so that's no big. You swapping out to me, right? But I think that the other part too that got me is that okay, so now on top of that, just by adding Caruso, you then went and you re-signed your key role players, right? So you went ahead and you re-signed Isaiah, you re-signed
Wiggins.
what's my other dude? Right.
Wiggins.
You Wiggins, you re-signed Wiggins. So now those same core guys that you've been developing for the last 4 or 5 years now, they re-upped and you basically nah, we here, right? We squad. So I think that that's the one thing. So I think that when you bring in Hart, people are really harping on, well, why is Hart making so much more than Jalen Brunson? I saw somebody ask that before, right? And it's just short term versus long term. Hart has a deal for 3 years, right? And I think that the thing I think that that's dope about it is that it fits the timeline, right? It fits the age group of all of the guys that we have over the next 3 years. So I think that more than anything, it allows Chet to play at four, so he's not having to bang with the biggest guys. He can kind of be the safety net, right? And Hark is the big body, so when you sit here, you don't have to worry about Chet having to guard Yoke for the whole entire time, right? He's the guy that's going to clean up on the help side defense and everything like that. So I thought that was brilliant. I think that the part that everybody doesn't quite understand about this kid that they drafted from I think he's from the
OPG.
Czech, if I'm not mistaken, but he was a guy who people projected could have been the number one overall pick. He only dropped down to 12 because of the injury, right? But I think that he was a guy that some people were saying, no, he could have actually been one of them guys that was in the top 5 pick, though, man. So it's nothing for OKC to sit a guy. We did that with Chet, right? So we've been there, done that. So I think that it's again one of those things that when you think if he turns out to be what Sam Presti has been very good at projecting players to be, he helps you not next year, but the season after that, though, right? It makes sense overall, though, man. And the other two guys that they drafted to me are just icing on the cake. If they pan out, they pan out. But I'm gonna trust Sam Presti that they've scouted and did their homework on these two dudes, and that they'll work out, though, bro.
Yeah. Other notable things in free agency, like the one that I was a little more shocked about was I did not think Spider was going back to the Cavs, bro. I didn't think he was going to go back.
Okay. Okay. Here we go, man. I'll tell you
I
why
like
I
how you
fully
lost for
thought he
words
would.
on that one.
I fully expected him to because that's just a lot of money that he would give up to go somewhere else, bro. And in the end, a lot of money is a lot of money. Like they're paying him. He signed a 3-year extension where he'll be getting $50 million per year, right? And even then, I saw Jason Tatum's deal that makes him the highest paid player in the league. And these numbers could be faulty, but they were basically saying that even though he's going to make $70 million, $70 million, right? That after all said and done, he's only going to bring home about 30 million of that. So if you're looking at the similar thing for Donovan Mitchell, I just don't see how you could afford to leave $15 million more on the table unless you were going to Miami, who doesn't have a state income tax, and you can make up for it on the taxes. But I fully expected for him to go back. The thing that I am curious about, though, is that I wondered that with Donovan Mitchell being there, if my guy Darius Garland fits with what they're doing, because they're two very similar kind of guys. So I'm just wondering how you're going to build around him now.
Yeah,
That's what I'm just more so curious about.
yeah. I mean, and I know we keeping it moving kind of quick, but I'm just trying to get through stuff. So, and of course,
Well,
another.
we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about PG leaving, going
Yeah,
to
yeah. I was
Philly.
getting there. I was getting there.
That okay?
Yeah, yeah. I was going to Clay first, and then we was gonna
Okay,
get to PG, because we was
let's
talking
do
about
it.
money. But you already said PG, so let's get to it. So PG, you talking about money, and your boy got paid. You know what I'm saying? He went out to Philly, and I think, and Boney, I'm coming to you. I think with PG, for one, I think he felt disrespected, and number two, I feel like that he feels like he has a better opportunity to win in Philly than he does in LA. For one, he's going to the East. We saw what happened to the East last year. It was a bunch of injuries that let Boston walk. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think Boston would have won,
Boston would have been there. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they can't walked to the finals. Now, when I said he felt disrespected, they basically told him, bro, we ain't paying you $1 over what we paid Kawhi. And I'm thinking, bro, I've been healthier than Kawhi, and you still ain't trying
Yeah.
to pay me. All right,
You can
I got
depend on me.
now
Mm.
all them draft picks that y'all just passed, that y'all just gave OKC. I'm a slide. Boney, what you got to say about it?
Oh my God. So I've been rooting for PG since Indiana. You know what I mean? Like he's just a good guy. He's a dependable guy. Plays both sides of the ball. And go get your money, man. Because like I say, he's been in this league a long time. Let's clear this up. We all can't be LeBron and wait for our son to graduate, right? We all can't be that guy. So PG, yep, this might be his second to last contract. You know, let's can we say that? Like, how many more years does this guy got? Go get your money. At the same time, the East, there's some money to be made. He could be in the finals next year, the Eastern Finals, but the finals nonetheless. So I'm here for it. I'm rooting for it. Now, I drank too much, so I literally have forgot the big thing that I was going to say. So I'm just going to be funny. Um, I heard that Kevin Durant called you to see if he could come back to OKC. Is there any truth to that?
Absolutely not. There was no truth to it. Just like there was no truth to Kevin Durant going to Houston. There was no truth to that as either. So what that was basically a rumor, because they say Kevin Durant, when he starts looking at the landscape and it's like, nah, this ain't panning out. These stars ain't starring like they supposed to. And so Phoenix, they was like, he was looking for his exit. And then of course his relationship with Chet. He's had a relationship with Chet since Chet has left college, right? Chet is kind of signed under KD, so he wears KD shoes. He even has a Thunder version of the shoe that he wears. It's the first release of the Kevin Durant shoe. So they was all like, "Oh,
Wow.
that's the sign. He got the first colorway is the Thunder one, and Chet's wearing it." And the way him and Chet work out, they work out every summer together. So there was never any truth to him coming back to OKC. He has just been more vocal about talking about OKC than he has ever been since he's been away. But no, there was never any truth. And and he has saluted the team. I think, people try to, say that his relationship with Russ is what went bad, but it's also his relationship with the front office that went bad. So I don't know that him and Sam are buddy buddy right now. So no, there was no truth to that.
We didn't talk about this, and I apologize. Because we were just talking about PG leaving the Clippers. Brain fart. Did y'all see Clip?
See who?
I didn't watch Clip.
You ain't watched it yet?
I feel like I know what. So
Oh,
I'm gonna be
okay.
honest.
You talking about
I
the
feel
show?
like I know what happened already, so I didn't want to relive it. Like I saw it live.
I watched the first episode. I didn't get a chance to finish. I was laughing at the casting of everybody, even though my boy from P Valley said that he had been cast as Chris Paul years and years ago. But yeah, Lawrence Fishburne don't even know who Doc Rivers is. So
he's doing a great job. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to basketball.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this though.
Yeah.
About Paul George. This is one thing that I realized about Paul George, bro. I think that everybody's opinion about Paul George is true. And even if you are night and day on where you stand with Paul George, everybody's true about Paul George. Everything that anybody has to say about Paul George, they're right. So even if you're wrong, you're right about being wrong with Paul George. This is probably the thing that again, you and I have always gone back and forth because I'll tell you that of any player in the NBA, if you were designing a player on any video game, you were designing him to look like Paul George, two-way player, tall guy, long wingspan, plays defense, smooth with the handle, shoot three. He does everything well. Not even well, fantastic. But aside from doing everything well, you can't depend on him when you need it the most. You can't depend on him to barely finish seasons these days. And that's the thing I think is crazy. He called himself playoff P after one good playoff run. And yeah, he was right. Right. But he was wrong because he's never been great in the playoffs since then. Right. His highlights are lowlights. Dame Lillard shooting over his teams. Like listen, man. When the Clippers said we don't want to pay you more than what we want to pay Kawhi, they were right to say that because he was only there because of Kawhi.
No. They weren't. I'm not gonna let you get that one off though, bro. Because here's the thing.
I liked it. Listen, he was on the road. He was on the road.
How is it? Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
Let me tell you where I'm going with this. This might make a little bit more sense, right? To the Clippers, Paul George isn't the attraction. Kawhi is the attraction. He's like the opening act, right? He's not the guy to them. And so what they were basically saying is that, listen, all right, you know what? We want to pay you a 3-year deal because that's what we thought we want to pay Kawhi because Kawhi is the superstar, right? You're the star. So we can't pay you more than Kawhi because we don't think that you're the attraction, right? It doesn't make sense for them to pay anybody on their team more than Kawhi if they view Kawhi in their regards. But at the same time, it makes sense for Philly to go and pay him the amount because Philly needs the extra help. And listen, I think to be quite honest with you right now, in terms of the effectiveness, I don't think that Paul George is more effective than Tyrese Maxey, right? But you can still somewhat argue that, again, it's Paul George. He got the best looking game in the league. So you might slide. He's like, is he the number 2 guy? Is he the number 3 guy? The one thing you can say for sure is that there's no pressure on Paul George whatsoever. So to me, it makes sense. He already said that he can't be a number 1 guy on a championship team. Well, now you can kind of question that he don't really even got to be number 2, right? He's pretty safe at being number. He just has to be better than Tobias Harris, right? And so then when I say pressure, he's going to Philly, who you already know Joel Embiid is going to be hurt for maybe 15 games. It's a built-in excuse to me. And not just that, the Bucks aren't going anywhere. The Knicks are only getting better, and the Celtics are not going anywhere. And so when I look at that, with all that considered, it's still his best chance of winning a championship. So it's like everything, anything. He is the one anomaly in basketball that I can think of where anything you say about him is true.
Do you want to say that Atlanta has a shot in the East before you get beat up when you go back to the court?
He ain't gonna. That ain't gonna. That's not.
You
That's not.
ain't gonna get no love to the Hawks. No, because you mentioned the Bucks and you mentioned Boston. You ain't gonna say nothing about Atlanta.
He's always no. He's.
I'm just trying to help him out. I'm trying to
I'm
help
gonna
him.
tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. Atlanta's gonna trade Trae Young within the next 2 years.
Oh, that wouldn't be smart.
Well, their
That
coach.
wouldn't be
doesn't
smart
like
at
him.
all.
Their coach doesn't like him.
Yes,
I didn't
it's
know
the
that.
kind of
I don't
thing.
follow
Listen,
Atlanta. I don't know.
it's the kind of things that Atlanta does, right? They brought in DeJounte Murray, and there were some listen, if there's ever speculation about anything that has to do with Hawks, there's some truth behind every single time. And so for the last 3 years, there's been the speculation behind Trae Young that they've been wanting to possibly trade him because when they played him out in a couple of years ago in Miami was rough with him. And he couldn't really do nothing in that series because he was just small. I think that Atlanta wanted to trade him then. But the only reason why they didn't, because listen, I don't think that people quite understand how big Trae Young really is in Atlanta. He is the attraction. So, but at the same time, his play is tough to build around. He's almost like a small Luka, right? He's a small version of Luka in that his usage rate is high. So he might have 10 assists, but they're not like those kind of equal assists that you see from Chris Paul, though, bro. So now the Hawks I never take the Hawks serious, bro.
Well, that's a great transition. I'm getting there. So we're gonna put a pin right there. I'm just gonna make my quick statement about Paul George. My thing about the Kawhi thing, they can think that he's the attraction all they want to. The problem is, if I'm Paul George, yeah, you ain't paying me more money than him, but at the same time, this dude is hurt more than me, so y'all can have it. And like I said, y'all just gave away these 5 picks for me, and now I'm out. Chris Paul. Chris Paul is in San Antonio with Victor. What's up?
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick.
All right.
Kawhi Leonard doesn't even live in LA. They allow Kawhi Leonard to catch a helicopter every game and almost every practice from San Diego to LA. He is the one they view as the star, bro. He has Kobe Bryant like privileges, bro.
I mean, and I can't believe they're allowing him to play in the Olympics. Because I'm thinking, like, bro, you need to save all bit of them knees for the season.
He got to play somewhere though, right? He's gonna train. I wouldn't let him play.
I wouldn't let him play. No, you can train. You can do
First
whatever
off,
you can to be healthy.
Hey, listen, you know what I learned when I worked for the Thunder all those years? That in the summertime, they pray that them boys don't do certain things.
No.
I remember Coach Brooks. I remember Coach Brooks. He said, me and Coach Brooks talked about it. He said, I always get scared when Kevin leaves for the summer because I always feel like he's going to be out there playing on one of them, playing pickup ball and hurt himself.
No, I understand that. But the difference, though, Chris, Wiggins for Golden State, he is not allowed to play in the Olympics this year. And
Olympics
that's
is a little different. Yeah, that is a little different. That is organized ball. Yeah, okay.
Well, I think because the thing is that playing for your country is a privilege, obviously, but your job is to play for the city. That's where
Right.
you're getting paid from. So my thing is that
Well,
what's up?
Paul George is overrated and underrated, bro.
Oh my gosh, bro.
That is so ridiculous. What does that mean?
Paul George is overrated and underrated, bro.
You would really think that he hates Paul George, even though he loves Paul George. It's
Right.
like
Listen, his game, he mimics his game after Paul George. I've
he,
watched him play.
he likes Paul George, but it's just he just don't because Paul George basically said I can't be the number one. So for him, that's it for him. But he
Paul
loves
George
So
has
we all
made
got to
close
know
to
our
five.
roles, man.
Listen. Paul George has made close to $500 million in his NBA playing career, and for what?
okay, but
For what?
we got
For,
other people to
for
get to.
potential.
All right, man.
We
All
got
right,
other
man.
people to get to. We got to get through
Listen.
this. Okay, so like I
Let's
said,
go.
Chris Paul's in San Antonio. He's gonna definitely help San Antonio because they were basically without a point guard last year, and it's gonna help Wemby learn some things that he needs to learn. Definitely is not gonna win a championship. I think Chris Paul is gonna be transitioning into a coaching position soon, and so this is definitely gonna help with that. With that venture. Then we got Clay, who got the phone call from LeBron, and he still went to Dallas. So what does that say about the King, bro?
Listen.
And he went to
He
go
ain't
play with
cutting for the
Luca
show.
too, though, bro.
Listen. LeBron James and Chris Paul wish they had Paul George hair, bro.
Okay. So apparently we ain't gonna get nothing else out of him. All right. So
Okay,
look,
what's
Klay
next?
Thompson.
What's next?
So
Yes.
Klay Thompson was willing to take less money, and obviously LeBron was willing to take less money in order to get another star. LA failed to do that, which is a whole different story. But Klay going to Dallas, it does a couple of things because of the contract, because he's got 3 years, 50 million. And what that does, there's no state tax in Texas. So he'll get more of that money, right? Versus living in California. Plus, he wanted a fresh start. And of course, now the stories is coming out, and him and Draymond really wasn't all that cool, and all of that
I don't
stuff.
believe that.
No,
Well,
Draymond's a problem. I've been telling y'all Draymond's a problem. No one wants to listen.
but I'm saying though, they're
He's from
saying that
Saginaw. I've been to Saginaw, guys. I've been to Saginaw. I know where Draymond's from. Dick Dickerson is from Saginaw, Michigan.
all I'm saying is
Draymond Green is a special kid.
they're saying that behind the scenes that Steph and Clay were really not happy with how his antics, causing him to be out of games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but and then of course, even when Draymond responded on how Clay unfollowed everybody and this, that, and the other. So we got that. Like I said, LA didn't get anybody. Golden State didn't get anybody. So of course, DeMar DeRozan is the next kind of big thing everybody's trying to land. What else?
Listen,
Big moves.
the Warriors are over, bro. They over.
Yeah.
Listen, and not just that, not just the Warriors being over. The Lakers are over. And listen, I think that this is the big thing about it. I think the tough part about it is I think that now more than any other time, right? I used to think that, playing on the Lakers was the grandest stage that you want to play on. I don't think it's that anymore. And I think that little things like that state income tax makes a difference. To where if you're not going to overpay a guy to come there to try to offset some of that, it might not be as worth it. Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, if Clay turned down, for starters, if Clay turned down playing for the Lakers, which from my understanding, he's from LA, his dad played for the Lakers or whatever, right? And LeBron couldn't convince him to come on over there, right? And then you tell me that, all right, you know what? Because I think that they said he turned down more money, like $80 million contract. So for him, it was also about style of play and also the possibility of winning. Do I think that they're going to win with them? No, but I do think the Mavs are better. Like I still
He just has to
listen,
be better
man.
than what's the junior over there?
Ronnie?
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim
That's
Hardaway
That's
Jr.
all he got to do. And people think that listen, it
No,
really
Bronny J. You
borderline.
got to be better than Bronny.
No, not Bronny yet. We ain't talking about Bronny though. That's different. But it really pisses me off though, man.
I could help it.
But
I
I'm
could
heavy
help it.
on the P when I talk about how pissed off I get when people talk about Clay being washed. Because when you look at Clay's stats, statistically, he was only a couple of shots away from what he typically was, though, bro. That shit.
Yeah, but
Listen, you
it's
got me
this is
over
the
here
thing
cussing.
though. This is
It's
the
a
thing.
family show.
The stats might be one thing, but I think the reason why people are saying, I don't know about Wash, but he's taking a step back is because it's the time period of the shots. Like in the playoffs when he didn't hit anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the stats still say that according to last year, you're right on track with last year. But this is when we need you now, bro.
He
And
didn't show up when the pressure was
No,
on. He didn't hit the
listen.
big shot.
all points ain't the same.
And guess what? And guess what? And guess what? James Harden never shows up, and he just got $30 million a year from the Clippers.
Right,
Right?
but
So what we saying?
James Harden is more productive than Clay. So that's what I'm saying.
Stop talking about my friend. James Harden's my friend. We're
James
not going to
Harden
talk about
is more
James Harden.
productive than Clay.
Listen here.
James Harden's
At the
supposed to be
end of the
protected at all
day,
times.
at the end of the day, if we put teams together right now, at both of their age right now, give me Klay Thompson any day before James Harden.
You go right ahead, and I'll take James Harden.
Me too.
100%. The way James Harden played last year versus the way Clay is what have you done for me lately in this particular.
What have you done for me lately?
So
At
you're
the
right.
end of the day, it's funny you say that because what did we last see James Harden do? What we always see him do? Get him out my face, man. And listen, it's the reason why Paul George left. Paul George is trying to get away from him, man.
Yeah. Moving on. We got so much other things to talk about. Before we transition to our next topic, Chris had something he wanted to bring up about something that's been going viral on.
Oh my God, guys. All right. So we started out, hey guys, if you haven't been on here in a while, because I'm out here, I'm hitting these mics. I'm learning to be a comedian. And here in Dayton, Ohio, there is a comedian named Chris Caruso. Chris Caruso is a pretty funny guy. He talks about good things. And he started talking about this one thing about women, if they were in the forest, who would you rather see? A bear or a man? And right now, there's 70% of women in the United States are saying they would rather run into a bear in the forest than a man. And when he was telling the joke, I didn't really say nothing about it. You know, I'm doing what I do. Okay, that's the joke. Yesterday, I was going to work and I'm being funny, and I tried to scare a sergeant in the United States Air Force. She said, "Oh my God, you scared me." I said, "Oh, I'm just playing." She said, "Yeah, but you're a man." I said, "What?" She's like, "That's why I would choose a bear." And I was confused. I didn't correlate. So me and her, we were talking. I said, "Well, what kind of bear do you think you're gonna meet? Yogi or Boo Boo or Winnie the Pooh? Because bears, they wanna kill." And she said, "Well, at least knowing that I'm dealing with a bear, all they're gonna do is kill me. A man would rape and torture me." And I got so confused. I was so confused. I said, "So you think when you go to the forest and you run into a man, he's out there looking to rape women? Because that's where rapes happen, in the forest. A bunch of rapey guys are just hanging out in the forest." So I said, "It's an interesting concept. Do you have any evidence?" She said, "No, I just know the men I deal with." I had to ponder on that. I had to think about that. I said, "Well, doesn't that mean that you pick rapey guys?" She said, "What? I don't know. Understand." Moving right along, I took a survey yesterday, gentlemen, of 10 women, and all 10 of these women that I know that are highly educated said they would rather meet a bear than a man.
Charles Venus, what do you have to say to that?
Okay, that is wild because I did see that trend as well, right? And let's just talk about this. I had to do some quick research. So there are around 40 brown bear attacks on humans worldwide each year, and most of these are when the bear feels threatened. Of these 40 attacks,
Wait.
14.3%.
How did they know that the bear felt attacked? Did they interview him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Listen,
I
just
don't
go
know.
with it. Go with it. Go with it. It's all make believe.
14% of those were fatal, right? When a bear attacked, 14%. And it says between 1870 and 2014, there were 73 attacks worldwide on humans by wild polar bears. 20 of those were fatal. Black bears attack and kill one human per year in America. And because humans encroaching on their territories, black bear attacks are on the rise in Japan. Okay, let's start. Let's just be honest.
You missed one. There is one bear that I always bring up. He's known as the grizzly bear. Can you, when you get a chance, you don't have to do it right now. Look up how many grizzly bear attacks there are, which leads me right back to the point of some of these ladies that have never ever encountered a bear, but feel like, and two of them said they would shoo the bear away.
Okay, so this is where I think that they would say that. Okay, so it says according to the UN, this is just a random out. This is no research behind this. This is UK based website, but it says according to the UN, 55% of all female homicides worldwide are committed by intimate partners or other family members at a rate of 5 deaths per single hour. Their research also found that the most violence against women is perpetrated by current or former husbands or intimate partners. I can understand why a female would say that. Because if you're saying that that's 55% of them, that means that 45% of the women don't have that experience.
Sir, this is the problem with that. You're in the forest, ma'am. You're in the forest. And you run into a regular guy. When guys go to the forest, they're usually in the forest for a few reasons. Hunting, fishing, and getting away from their woman.
They're basically saying if you're trapped in the forest. Right, it's not that you're just out on a hike. This say, hey, you lost, you trapped in the forest.
Who would you rather run into, a bear or a man?
Who would you rather run into, a bear?
So is a bear gonna give you directions out the forest?
No, they're saying that they would much rather take their chances.
I heard it.
Right, but I'm answering your question.
Yeah, no. First off, it wasn't a question. I was just telling you I hated it. Huh? What?
I'd be remiss if I didn't say this.
What's that?
If you ever see me in the forest fighting a grizzly bear,
don't help me. Help the bear. Huh? I taught you that, boy. Don't try to use my words against me. So this is the thing, Ahmad. I'm gonna talk to you because Charles doesn't know who you talk to. I'm a bear hunter.
I'm gonna tell you though, man, that I can totally see why in the history of mankind, of all the great things men have done, all the damn savagery other men have also committed against women. So I can totally see why though, man.
And here's the other thing. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
No, the only thing I wanted to point out is you started your statistic that with 55% of the women are killed by men that they know, right?
Facts.
So in this scenario, it's a man that you don't know that you're going to meet in the forest, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Basically, I'll be in the forest killing, and if you see me, lady, I want you to go the other way because I'm usually in the forest to get away from you. So, but you think I want you, baby? All I want to say is, what are the statistics of the women that get raped in the forest? How many rapists are hanging out? How many tortured people are hanging out in the forest?
I get that, but I think that the reason why a woman would say that is that I know what a bear's doing in there. I know what a bear's doing there, right? And I know in theory what a bear is capable of doing, right?
Right.
Most women have had that experience. If they're saying 55%, they're basically saying, I also know what these men are capable of. The men I pick.
Right. Because it's the men you pick, ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, you pick horrible guys. Yeah. So let's change the subject real quick, real fast, and we're gonna get to the next topic.
Yeah.
In the ocean, there are sharks, and sharks bite people. So, would you rather meet a shark or a man in the ocean? And I'm just gonna leave it with that. On to the next topic. I just, you know what, men, we got to do better.
Okay.
Women are picking bears over us,
There
and
has
that's
been
just
a
not good.
there has been a lot of discourse about young Usher Raymond for
Definitely.
using profane language in his acceptance speech for his Lifetime Achievement Award on the BET Awards this past Sunday. And I just kind of, and of course, the other discord was that they were doing a tribute to Usher, but it was mostly all women outside of the boy Childish Gambino, who killed that part of the set, I might add. Uh, so what are y'all thoughts about the speech and the acceptance, and then of course like the tribute? Because I'm thinking, like, where was Tyrese at? I know he was there. Where was
He
Tank?
was in the audience.
Uh,
Charles, do you want this, or do you want me to go first?
I'm gonna let you
Because I'm
take it.
ready.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So let me say this: Usher has a range that Tank and Tyrese can't hit all the time. Okay. So Usher's up there. He's a soprano, and we just need to admit that.
sir,
Second,
sir.
shut your face. Listen, not everybody can do that, Ahmad.
No, no,
Okay.
no, sir,
Listen, my
sir.
boss followed a long time ago. Huh?
Okay. All I was
What?
gonna say was that I think you need to go listen to some more Tank before you say that Tank can't hit.
Man, first off, text my dog. We was in prison together. I told him to stop sucking dicks. Um, as far as the acceptance speech, what most people missed was he said he didn't write nothing down because he wanted to be in the moment. And he Usher is a real N word, okay, guys. And he was going from his heart, and it was a lifetime speech. VT, in America. It is what it is. I laughed because I had to watch. I watched the uncut version just for this podcast. And reality is he said a couple
He
f
said some
bombs
F's and
here
some
and there.
MFs.
Yeah, that's it. You know,
Yeah, but
real
Chris,
American language.
this is the thing. This is something I saw, and I thought it was a great point to make. He
I'm listening.
said he said if you wouldn't do that on the Grammy stage, then don't do it on the BET stage.
I think he would have. I think if the Grammys gave him a lifetime achievement award, and if he said, "Okay, let me back up. Let me address it for real."
Mhm.
You know what the Grammy stage is? Somebody else's house. You
Yeah,
if I was at
that's all
somebody
the more
else's
reason.
house,
That's what I'm
no,
saying,
no,
though.
no, no. Listen to me, sir. Because I do agree. However, so the Grammy stage is somebody else's house,
It
and the
is.
BET Awards, last time I checked, was my grandmama's house. And you
It
know what I
is.
do at my grandmama's house? Whatever the hell I want to, because my grandmama loved me and she know my heart. You understand me? So I have been in a church and cussed, and they said, "Don't worry about it. That y'all know we love him. Y'all know Chris. You was there,
I
Ahmad."
understand
And
that,
you know
Chris.
what? And they asked me to come back and talk the next week because
Charlotte,
my family knows me. I'm sorry. Okay.
what you think about it?
Listen, I ain't never cussed in front of my mama ever. I ain't never cussed in front of my grandmama ever in life, and none of my brothers ever cussed in front of my mama ever.
Yeah,
Right? And even if we cuss in conversation and my mama's not around, we both are kind of looking over our shoulder to hear if my mama heard us cuss. We've never, and people find that unbelievable that at 43 years old, my mama's never heard me cuss in the same room ever.
right.
Right?
Right.
That being said,
Right.
I do think that Usher felt more like I'm with my peoples, so let me go ahead and unprepared keep it 100. Now, do I think he would have did that at the Grammys? No. Would I wish he would have done it at the Grammys? Yes, and I would have
Yeah.
respected that more if he did it at the Grammys as well. But I can understand why he would feel like, no, not only am I in a room of
My peers.
people who might be my peers,
Ass
but I'm
twerking.
also in a
Patty
room
LaBelle
with
was ass
people.
twerking.
Right.
Listen,
Well,
you know what Patty LaBelle has never did on the Grammys? Twerk. But you know what she did at BET? She twerked because BET is
listen.
for us.
Well, I get that. Well, listen, Megan was up there leading this, so that's different.
Come on, man.
But here's what
I'm
here's
just
what I'm
saying.
going. Here's what I'm saying with that. If you're there,
Okay.
if you're in a space where you're there with your peers, your mentors, your contemporaries, and people who are your general or admirers of what you're doing. And you feel like I'm going to be vulnerable to y'all given this particular moment and what I'm being recognized for, I have no problem with it. But I also don't think that he would have done that at the Grammys. And it could have very well been because maybe he would have felt more corporate, right? It's like, but if I got to be corporate around my own people for my moment, and then I can see why he was like, I don't want it.
Okay,
So I'm
alert.
Can
not
I
mad
add?
at him. He was
Can I add
he was
one
coming
more?
so
Can I
much
add
I
one
thought
more
my
before you go
Wi-Fi
on,
was
Mark?
gone.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one more, and this is honest. I'm not being funny at all. I think when we are on the bigger stage, when there's more eyes on us, we think about the people that might come after us, so we don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it. If this is the first time I'm up here, I don't want to do something that may forbid the chief Venus coming after me. I don't want to do anything that can ruin Ace Kennedy from coming after me. However, here at BET, where Ray J gets into a fight and is suicidal after the fact, right? Look, a lot of stuff happened at the BET Awards. A lot of stuff has always happened at the BET Awards. So when Usher Raymond gets his Lifetime Achievement Award, and he dedicated it to us, the fathers. It's the year of the fathers. He had a stage full of fathers on the stage. You said how many women performed his songs? That's cool. I like it. But he had fathers behind him. He gave grace to fathers. Did we talk about how he gave grace to his sons being right there? How he said, this is what it is to be a black man in America? Did we talk about that? Did we talk about how he felt abandoned by his dad, but how he's forgiven his dad because he understands that it's hard to be a black man in America? We didn't talk about none of that. We talked about he said a couple cuss words. He did something the centrists didn't like. However, you know what outsells everything? Rap music, where they cuss
Well,
all
let me ask
day,
you this. So,
every day.
wait. I think those are all great points. But do you think that he could have not driven the same point or even had that highlighted even more if he didn't have the distractions of the cuss words? Because
Because
to me,
listen, I don't have an
I
issue
think the
with the
message was still the same. I think the message would have been the same, but I thought that now that you had the cussing, it took away a little bit from the message because to your point, we're talking about the cussing and not as much as the actual message.
it's this is the
Y'all
thing,
talk about
right?
the cussing.
No, this is the way that I feel about it. I don't have an issue with Usher cussing. What I have an issue with is the where he cussed at, because this is a nationally televised event, right? So you know the way that stuff works, and Usher does. So what I'm saying is, you're having BET have enough respect for BET to not have them go through the FCC stuff that you would normally have to go through if this wasn't a televised event, or if this was
The
an
only
event hold on, brother. I'll let you get your whole
Yes,
point out.
I know you did. You did.
So
I
my
apologize.
thing is, if this was gonna be on YouTube, or if this was something that was gonna be on Amazon or something like that, then I have no issue with you giving it to us raw, because because the thing is like, to Charles's point, everything that he said could have had the same value without the cursing that's gonna get us to have to bleep stuff or do this, or we got to pay these fines. I know what Usher means to me, and I'm grateful that he got this Lifetime Achievement Award. But my thing is, it's just like Will Smith and the slap. We don't talk about Will Smith winning the Oscar. We talk about the slap.
I love the slap. I appreciate the slap. The slap was needed for the culture because I'm tired of us have to hide who we are because maybe it might offend someone else. Right now, I say this. Uh, I cuss with my mama all the time, but there's bad guys after my name. I was raised to be who I am. I drank with my parents. I party with my parents. I was raised this way. And Usher knows he represents more than just Ahmad. He represents more than just Charles. He represents a dude named Chris Weston. And Chris Weston is, you know what you get when you get Chris Weston. Right now, I do appreciate saying, "Hey, we should have thought about BET." And the reality is I'm pretty sure Usher will pay BET's fines if BET had never ever occurred any fines on their own. Let's clear this up, BT. You haven't set a precedent where someone shouldn't cuss on the stage, BT. You haven't did that, BT. You made it whereas if we was at our ghetto grandma's house, and this is what it is. So let's not forget who BET is. They're not the Grammys, and they haven't tried to be the Grammys. Just like the Train Awards don't try to be the Grammys. So I
Right.
dig it.
But Chris, if
I'm
that's the
not digging.
case, if that's the case, right, then
Mhm.
take it to a different platform where that's allowed to happen. What I'm saying is you're broadcasting on airways, or if that's the case, if you want to let him be that way, then you do the delay so that
So
you
who are we
know.
talking about? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Usher now, or are we talking about BT?
No,
So who's
BT.
really responsible? That's what I'm saying. So who?
Usher is
That's what
responsible.
I'm saying.
No, Usher is responsible because what I'm saying is if we are trying to say that we're going to treat our awards with the same prestige as these other awards, then we're going to have to do the work to do that. So
Who's
the thing
we?
is that we as a
Who?
people, we
I
as a
didn't say that. I never said that.
you didn't, but
I
there's a lot of
I
people.
only
Listen,
watch.
listen.
Exactly. So they should
There's a
watch the
lot.
Grammys.
There's a lot
BET for me, Black Entertainment Television.
Right. So
Sorry.
if you're going to do that, there's ways to do that. You can either, again, present it on a platform that's going to allow you the space to do that. For instance, right? Kendrick Lamar did his concert where? Through
I don't
Amazon.
know.
He did it on Amazon. So
I didn't know that.
therefore, yeah, he did it on Amazon. That way he can
No, you
it was gangs and everything. It was all kind of gang signs. Nothing was bleeped out, blurred out, nothing. Like everybody was able to be themselves, but it was in a capacity to do that. All I'm saying is if we are ever going to have our awards to be as prestigious as to why people would say, oh, he would have never done that on the Grammy stage. I want people to say, oh no, you can, like, we need to establish what it's gonna be. If you're gonna allow people to be themselves, again, there are methods to do that by having the 5 or 7 minute delay so that
I
you if
asked
it
again.
happens, boom, boom, boom.
Whose responsibility is it? Is it the entertainer? Is it the artist that's speaking from his heart? Or is it BT's responsibility to have the 5 second delay? Whose
If you
responsibility? When
so here's the thing about it. That's a great point though, Chris. I think that you are saying, hey, if you gonna give somebody the platform to go up here and he tells you, I ain't writing nothing down, I'm going off the heart. I do think that from a technical perspective, it is BET's responsibility. But I think at the same time, though, it's a professional courtesy, right? You should at least be mindful of that when you get up on the stage. That I didn't give these people a warning that or not that I'm going to have these things to say that I'm going to go. So that's my thing about it. If you give them the heads up ahead of time, that you might have some very, PG 13 not so friendly words, and I would imagine that yeah, you would then go, well, let me put this on tape delay specifically though. But it's a joint thing. I don't think that Usher's completely absolved of not being wrong from this because it's a professional courtesy. It's what I look at. But from a technical perspective, that's BET responsibility to make sure
I
that they're adhering to any regulations and
FCC.
guidelines, whatever.
So I throw shows. You guys throw shows. And every time before a comedian goes up there, they say, "Hey, is there anything that I can't say? Is there anything blah blah blah?" Right? Which in turn, if there was something, I would brief them before they went on the stage. And I say again, BET, you are not known for being squeaky clean. Nobody else has uncut after dark but you, BT. Nobody else had a pastor preaching and cussing with the Bible. The BT, you have not been known for being prestigious, BT.
But Chris, listen to what you just said though.
When Richard Pryor went to NBC for the Richard Pryor show, that was the first time they ever had a delay because they knew who they was dealing with. Usher Raymond has never told us that he was some professional that didn't believe in cussing. We've never heard him say that he did clean work, right? And it's his lifetime award. What more does he have to do after this? And again, I agree with you, Charles. It does not absolve him from it, but I don't think he's running from the criticism that he's getting.
No,
I
no,
think he says,
because I
and
mean, but I mean, the news is BET already apologized for muting part of his speech.
because who's exactly? Wait a minute. So they apologize for muting him, right? Is that doesn't that kind of contradict what we're talking about?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, help me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, help me.
Because at the same time, again, right? I think that we're in 2024. Linear TV is not even a premium anymore, right? So what I'm saying is there are like if we wanted to be FUBU in the moment, we have different avenues to do that. So my thing is
Whose
all you had to,
responsibility?
huh?
Whose responsibility is? You keep saying different avenues. This is BET Awards where they gave Usher. So when they give him,
Right,
hey
because
Usher, we're going to get 15 minutes, and
right, but
please don't talk about this, don't talk about that. You don't think
no,
he got briefed
I don't
that?
think I don't think my thing is this. Do you think the NFL had to have a conversation with Usher about what he could or could not uh uh
I think they
live?
most definitely talked about what songs he can and cannot
No,
perform
no, no, no,
when it's
no,
the
no, no,
halftime
no, no,
show.
no. I'm not asking about the content he's presenting. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
things that he says. Understanding that where you're at, he knew the moment and where he was at, is what I'm saying.
Um, I catch me real quick. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Dick Gregory, right? Good friend. In my mind, Dick Gregory used to say that, hey, they never would let a black man stand on national TV with just flat footed, just talking, right? There was a time of that. When you said the NFL, Usher came on there and performed songs. And that's when I say, oh, I'm sure the NFL said, hey, what songs do you plan on performing? 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. They have brought these people on that have known for having straight cuss words. I'm sure the NFL said, let's see what songs you guys are going to do. Make sure you don't do these songs. Don't do these things. All I'm saying is, do you think BET did that with Usher? And that's what I'm saying. Like the BET that we know and love, I think they love this type of stuff. I think they love the controversy. I think they love it. I think they asked for it. That's my just personal opinion. I
Yeah.
don't think BET wants to be the Grammys. I think BET wants to have Ray J fighting at. Listen, Ray J was being tough last night. I mean Sunday night,
Yeah.
right? You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I,
And that doesn't happen at the Grammys. That happens at the BET Awards. So
yeah,
before we blame everything on Usher, I need to talk to BET and what
I
your
didn't
what
blame
your
everything on Usher.
production is. Did you tell Usher that, hey, make sure you keep it tight? Make sure you know what I mean? What did that happen? And that's all I'm saying. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I'm sorry.
What else? What else we got real quick before we have to get out? Is there anything else, Charlie?
Well, listen, the only thing I wanted to say is that you said that BET isn't you said Usher isn't running from apologizing. But the boy Rick Ross was running out in Toronto from them Canadians out there though, bro. And listen, I just real quick, bro. Listen, listen. I got a question for you. Okay, so Ross, I guess apparently he had his DJ playing They Not Like Us, and that was the thing, right? That put it over the top. So I don't know if They Not Like Us is just banned in Toronto, in Canada, whatever. But Rick Ross plays it thinking, oh, I got a
I'm
beef
him.
with Drake, right? I'm about to go ahead and play this and this, that, and the other, though, right? So you signed up, you campaigned, you played this song. Now, when the fans react, right? I don't know that Drake, I don't know. I don't know how big Drake is that he got a mold in everybody who comes there. So they give him the word and then he just say, get wild or whatever. But the fans basically clap back at Ross like that's our guy. Yeah, in our country, and they said it with the little funny Canadian accent, the Toronto accents. And Ace Kennedy, I'm wondering, like, does this look bad for Ross?
It 100% looks bad for Ross. For one, this is why I look bad for Ross. For one, you got snuffed, but it's not even him. You getting snuffed because you can anybody can get snuffed, right? It's the fact that your security got snuffed, like where your security was wobbling. That boy was doing the wobble out there. He couldn't even stand up. And then like I'm trying to figure out who was that got slept. Like they was concerned.
Somebody got carried out, and
Yeah,
I couldn't
it's
tell
like,
if that was Ross's guy or if that was
hey, they
somebody
kept
else.
saying that they thought he was gonna die. That's how much he had got put them hands on. I think Ross just only got hit like once in the eye or something like that. But I mean, it's just like, bro, it's just a bad situation. And why would you do that? Like you, if
No,
you did that, if you were standing on the stage or something, and you like, I don't even know. Like, yeah, they was not playing
listen,
with him, bro.
listen. Um, it's the most disrespectful thing you can do.
But it's dangerous
Come
though.
to first, listen. Rick Ross is a gangster in his mind. He's a gangster in his mind. He's already dealt with the 50 cents of the world, you know. And what's this little Canadian rapper gonna do? And it's just like every city boy that comes to the country that thinks, oh, these country dudes ain't gonna do nothing. These Canadians ain't gonna do nothing. And I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna pee on y'all head and I'm gonna pee on y'all and y'all ain't gonna do nothing because y'all like me. Ha 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 ha. And he found out Drake was right when he said, I got friends that can't leave Canada too. Wait, what? Yeah, because there is a thing that you can't come into the United States if you're a criminal.
Well,
Right?
this is the thing
No,
though.
no, no.
Even
Listen. Everybody thinks that Canada is some easy place and everybody's nice. You know where I've been? Canada. And there are some very dangerous places in Canada. They
that's
just don't like to brag about it like we the Americans do.
but the other thing though, Chris, when the actual beef was going on, right? It wasn't the violence didn't come from Drake or from K Dot. It
Kendrick. Yeah.
came from the fans. Like the stores that got broken into overseas, or the security guard that was injured. Like those things happen from fanatics that took it too far because of this music.
On whose side though? Whose side was it? Usually it was directed towards Drake, right? The security guard that got hurt was Drake. The stores that got vandalized, from my understanding, was vandalizing Drake stuff because it's the whole West Coast, right? They just did a whole pop up show where everybody that ever did anything with Drake made sure they was on. He ain't like us, right? To the point, even Drake played the song at his concert. We just going to go over that? We're going to act like Drake didn't come out and dance to the same song? Did he or did he not, Charles? Help me out.
Yes, he did. But I'm gonna tell you this:
Okay.
I don't think it's that bad. Temporarily, it looks like it. When you put it in the vacuum, it looks it. But
No,
I
no, no.
think that with all things considered, right? So the boy Ross, what made him look bad is one, he got punched in the face, right? That's to me the only thing and the punch didn't look like it was like he didn't get slipped, right? So that's the one thing. And I think that with all things considered, I'm not even that mad at the running because in the end, even
I ran.
if you got your squad, right? Most of your guys who are them dudes, right? They probably can't get into Canada anyway. So you got a smaller squad, but you're always gonna be outnumbered. You talk about fans. So you're always gonna be outnumbered. So I'm not gonna be mad of you running, jogging away from it, whatever you want to call it, because you're outnumbered. It's like it would have been worse to me if he didn't run and he took getting pounded out
No, no,
because
no, no. I'm not. That's not where I think it looks bad. Everything that you said, 100%
because
agree.
listen, young Bird still gets clowned for getting pounded out. And he tells a story about him getting pounded out all the time. And I think that you running and escaping leaves you unscathed through history, right? It's almost like how the internet is undefeated.
Live to
You
fight again
getting
another day.
pounded out. Yes, you getting pounded out and taking the L is permanent, bro.
No,
So
no, no.
it's not that bad
I'm
to
not.
me.
The reason what I'm saying is bad. You got to let go of your security guard, because if they ever see him again, they testing him, because we already.
No, see,
Yes,
no.
yes,
That's not fair.
yes. I
It's not
thank you
fair
for your
because hey,
service. I thank you for your
that's
service.
not fair. Because
It's
hey,
not.
here's
No, it
one thing
is
about it.
fair.
If you come there, no, listen. If you come there with 5 security guards, and of your 5 security guards, how many people test your 5 security guards? Somebody's going to take the L. The numbers say somebody's going to take the L.
I get it, Charles,
Did
but
this,
it's
hold on. Did the security guards know he was going to play that song? Did the security guards know that they should be on alert because he's about to play this song? Did Rick
Let me
Ross
tell you this.
think that? No, listen, I don't think Rick Ross thought that Canada was going to act like that. Let's put this up. I am on the strict belief that Rick Ross thought he was about to go to Canada, where Drake's from, and he was about to throw a flag down and say, he ain't like us. He ain't like
Yeah.
us. And he thought they was going to
Yeah.
sing with him.
Yeah.
His security
Yeah.
wasn't ready for them to say,
Yeah.
fuck
It's
you
not
doing?
security fault.
sorry
y'all
for
missing,
cussing.
y'all missing
Sorry.
the point. Y'all are missing the
I'll
point.
give us
Y'all,
the point.
I
I'm gonna
understand
know.
your
no,
point.
no, y'all missing the point. Y'all
Okay.
are speaking the facts that happened. All of that y'all
Okay.
saying is facts, not arguing with that. What I'm saying is perception is reality. The perception is your security can be tested. I know that the numbers game works. I know that. We know that. We watched enough wrestling to know the numbers game is always going to win. We get that.
Good.
What I'm
Good
saying
call,
is, what I'm saying is the perception is him, the dude with the dreads, can be tested. That's all I'm saying. I have to let you go, sir.
You can't. So you can't tell me that if you put 5 people in a crowd of 30 people, that somebody's going to see that one guy say, "Oh, he's the one." Here's a perfect example. When the bad guy was
You motherfuckers. Get him, Indigo. Get him. Get him, Indigo. Get him.
he can do this to him.
y'all.
He did that to him. So you can't blame
Damn,
him
how
for
did this
what he
happen?
didn't know that.
I hate y'all. I hate y'all.
That man know he
Right.
did that man didn't know he could do
Ahmad,
that to you,
you're
right?
laughing too hard. You're laughing too hard, Ahmad.
This is Charlie. This is the part that makes that whole
No.
thing bad. This is the part that makes it bad. Charlie, I knew the dude who had him in the hole.
I'm
This,
gonna punch you in the face for knowing him. I'm gonna
that's
you right now. But you know what
That
happened
man-
after
so-
that fight? You
What?
know what happened? You know what happened after that? Nothing. Because you know what I'm still known for? Knocking out T.
Charlie,
You know what hasn't
I know
happened
that
after
because,
that?
listen,
You know what has never happened? Oh yeah, I seen him get drug out by
Chris,
somebody.
that
So
wasn't-
I'm going
Chris,
to test him.
here's
And
the
don't nobody test me, Ahmad.
Listen,
You know
listen.
that.
when
Come
he,
on. So stop being silly.
That man didn't see you and say, "I'm gonna do this to him."
but Chris, this is
He
the
didn't
problem.
see you and say that.
This is the problem. When he did it, he wasn't even trying to hurt you. He just said, "Hey,
I know, because listen, listen. Do you know the part of the story that nobody
He
talks
was
about?
talking
I had a
calmly
friend.
to you like Michael from Boys
Watch,
Men.
watch,
He was
watch,
talking
watch.
with
You're not listening. You're not listening because the reality is we were so deep in there, they were scared. After everybody realized what happened, the owner gave me all my money back. But that's, however, I had a Caucasian with me, and I love that guy. They beat him up. They busted his face open, his mouth. You know what they didn't do? Now I was starting all the trouble. It was all me. I started all of it. I wasn't hurt at all. I just couldn't.
No.
They wouldn't let me do nothing because they
No.
know what I do.
And he
So they
said-
had me up here.
and
Now
he
they
said-
beat up my friend. They
when
beat
we
up my
got
friend very
outside,
badly.
when we got outside, he said, "Listen, hey, I'm gonna let you go. We good?" And you was like, "Mm-hmm." He said, "I'm gonna let you go." You was
What
like,
he say? Say
I hate y'all right now. I was
What'd he
30 years
say?
old. I was 30
he
years
say?
old. Listen, that boy choked the gangster out of me. And I ain't been a gangster since. I was done. I was
Chris,
done.
to your
no more
defense,
gangster.
bro, he had to be like 6'7", 6'5". He
Hey,
was
Ahmad, you've seen me beat up 6'5" before. I beat up 6'5" before. I might be 5'9", but I got the heart of a 6'4". Ti, respect.
was-
You
it
know
was-
what? I
it
don't know how
was-
we got all the way here. To Rick Ross getting punched in the eye, and we gonna do this? This is. I hate y'all. Come on.
Listen, if I was a comedian and if I was telling jokes, you know that would be in my set, bro. Because
It doesn't
That
matter. Listen,
is.
I'm gonna tell you. Oh, I can't stand you. You know what's gonna
At
happen?
least it ain't on film
You,
though.
you might not want to be at the show in July because I might. You know what? We're gonna fight. We're gonna have. It's gonna be ding ding. We're gonna have. I'm gonna bring in the ring. And it's
Chris,
me and you because I'm gonna hit you in the head with a chair like Charles did.
Oh my
hey,
gosh,
Chris,
man.
call my
Wait,
phone
wait,
right now.
wait. At least my head didn't get bust open, huh?
Chris,
By my
call,
partner.
call my phone right now. Call my phone right now. Don't just call it.
I'm scared. I don't want to.
Hurry up, hurry up. Oh, I just want y'all to know what kind of friend I am.
Is it calling? Hey, oh my God. This is, you know what? Do you know what, Charles? Get off the ground. Get off the ground, Charles. I hate you. I hate all y'all. Y'all brought me on this show to disrespect me, and I'm suing. You know what? I sent my NDAs, and what I said wasn't going to be talked about because I'm a professional now, and y'all are not allowed to bring these things up. I came to did your little whack ass show. You know what? I'm a professional comedian, and I don't have to do this little whack ass show. I didn't even charge y'all my fee. No, but you know what? My lawyer's gonna call you. You understand? And hey, listen, you know, you guys are bald headed because I would have snatched your hair off. You little bald headed bastards. Yeah, I'm cussing on your shows now. You know what? Every time I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna just put cuss words all in every episode you ever had.
Oh my gosh, man. I'm
I hope you
done.
feel better.
Look, man, we
Y'all
are the
feel better
Slash
picking on me?
Brothers. Yes, that is my brother Boney the Cockaroo. Y'all please join us in October in July.
July
check out the
13th.
show. Come check out the show. Tickets are available. You can DM myself or Chris for the discount code if you would like that. And that's
listen, don't listen, just buy the ticket. Don't get the discount. Don't DM us. Just go to Eventbrite, type in Cockaroo House of Dopology. Shout out to DJ Dopology. He is the background behind this. Me and Ace Kennedy and some crazy friends of mine. We're coming to Oklahoma City and we're gonna party. We're gonna party, we're gonna give you a comedy show, and then Ace is gonna entertain, and then DJ Socks, for those DJ Socks fans, she will be in the building. Her and DJ Ology going to be giving a good time. And I heard Hezekiah's in the building. We're going to party. We're going to party till about 2 in the morning. That's the rumor. Now, Ace ain't going to be there. He's going to leave at about 11:30 because he's old. He's old, and he knows that when we go to the club, I usually get drug out by the security guards. So I'm going to make sure he's kicked out so he doesn't get to see it. Charles, you have a big forehead, and nobody likes you. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows I love y'all. And hey, man, Boney Cockaroo is going to be back on Slash Brothers once a week because I don't like these brothers, and I'm just going to come and ruin their show and cuss on it so they can't get any ad times. So, but hey, are you bleeping me out? Shit, you son of a... You stop bleeping me out.
We out, y'all.
I hate y'all. I hate y'all. I hate your black skin.
It doesn't matter what your
I
name
hate
is.
your shirt because it's black. I hate a mod so because it's black.
The Slash Brothers Podcast.
I hate Charles' underwear because he doesn't wipe and now they're black.
Oh, Lord.